G'day, Piros here again, and today I want to talk to something a little bit more technical than my normal talks. I actually want to talk to you about mast position and the term swing weight. So it's very, very important, and I actually have scoured the internet for anybody talking about it for foil drives, and I can find nothing about it. So you might be saying, why have I got a sup here in front of me? I'll tell you right now. So I've done a bit of sup downwinding, and I've been fortunate enough to do it with some of the best guys in the world and in Australia. And when you get a new sup board to set it all up, you know, where do you start your foil? You don't want to try it and go out on a 30k downwinder. So the rule of thumb that sup has taught me is you want to put your foil in a position where the board's balanced. So when you're up, it doesn't want to fall backwards, doesn't want to fall forwards. The swing weight is balanced. So a quick little test, I've already done this one. You set it up and you want it so the board is basically not falling down the arse or dropping down on the nose. That's your starting point. Of course you can go forward or backwards from there, and it's very important to do. But nobody's doing this on the foil drive, and it's more critical because you're moving more mass. And the way I came across this was a guy asked me on the Foiul Drive forum, which way is it easy to start, with the mast all the way back or your mast forward? And I thought, well, geez, that's a really good question. I haven't thought about it too much. So on this board here, this is my prone board. I prone with it back here. You can actually see my marks. And then I've just gone, well, when I've put the Foiul Drive on it, I've done it pretty well in the same spot. But after I got asked that question, I said, I'll go out and try it. So I pushed it all the way to the back, and I could not believe how bad that made the board perform. Yeah, it was actually physically, because I had more board out in front of me, unless my legs were hanging over, it was actually a little bit easier to start. But when I was up, I actually had to have so much weight back to keep the foil up. And then when I was taking my finger off the trigger, it was just wanting to throw forward because I still had to keep the weight back, but I also had to keep the weight forward when I was free foiling. And I was out in some really big waves, like it was like overhead to like 1.5 times. And I was just getting smashed because all my balance was all wrong because I'm compensating for the board. So I went out and I tried it like that. Then I moved it all the way forward. And it was, yeah, a bit harder to get started, but mate, the surfing was so much easier. I was so much more balanced. And it was like when I used to teach people water skiing, because the swing weight was nice and even. It wasn't all down the arse end of the board. It's like when I used to teach people water skiing, and they used to be going like that, I just used to say, bring your hips forward, bring them forward, and get your center of gravity over your feet, and boom, it's a lot easier. Same thing with this, and it's absolutely critical because you've got a big mass of lithium battery here, and just minor increments changes everything. I want you to go try it. And the problem why nobody's moving their foils is because Foiul Drive supplied those wonderful little T-nuts with the grub screw in it. So you can't shift it. You have to pull the whole thing off, you have to undo the grub nuts, and it's a bit of mucking around. But hey, I want everyone to do it and try it. First up, I want to try and get you to balance your boards, so it's like that, just show how you're on the sup. This, and then I want you to put it all the way to the back of your tracks, and I want you to go out and I want you to feel how bad it is. So when you do correct it, it feels so good. So please, everyone's got to go and do that for me. Okay, I know some of you aren't going to go and do that, so I've done it for you. So I did it on my DC board here. That's a custom board, and this is a production board. And the difference between my custom board and the production board, and it's a thing with Sonova as well, is the boxes, like, they're very strong, but the board is very heavy at the box end. North boards are like that as well. Dale's board, however, it's still got a nice even weight. So that even makes it worse on this board, because it's got, even if the board's like 4.5 kilos, you've got that extra kilo in the arse. And when you put your Foiul Drive on top of that, it makes it even worse. So look what happens when I move the boxes all the way back on this and I drop it in the pool. It doesn't balance, it doesn't float, and it rolls over. So just imagine what happens when you're surfing if it's doing that to itself. Now, here's the video of the DC board, which is all nice and balanced. Put it all in, and this board actually gets closer to the center balance than the Sonova because it's a lighter board for one, and the boxes are lighter. Plus, it's longer, so it's got a little bit more leverage. See that? So the DC just sits there, it floats beautifully. Now, okay, let's not write the Sonova off. Then, you can see me, I'll move the boxes all the way forward. Boom, there it is. It's actually floating nice, but it is still pretty ass heavy compared to this. So much so, I went and I played it. I've been playing around with this a lot. That's what I do. I surf twice a day. I do it every day regardless. I go out. I've got my new battery chargers now, so I was out for like 3 hours this morning. And I swapped everything. And the crazy part is because I can get the DC closer to the balance point than the Sonova, this board actually surfs better. And it's 5.5, that's 4.11. And I'm so settled on this, it's just crazy. I was just frothing this morning. Even just going out, powering up over waves, coming up over a wave, take the finger off the trigger, it just goes up, up, free powered, run down the back, and the board is so balanced and easy to ride. My whole surfing has improved. Everybody's surfing will improve. Okay, now listen, it's not just the Gen 2 guys. You guys on the Gen 1s, and some have the battery at the back, some put it down, recessed in the board in the middle, and some have it at the front. You guys have to do the same thing. And if you move your box, you're gonna have to move your foil. Just trust me on this, just try it, it works. It's gonna be the biggest revolution. Your surfing is going to improve. The only con is it does get a little bit harder to start when you have your foil forward, when you're used to having it back. But you'll get over that quickly. I did it in sort of just one sort of sport battery, and now I get up really fast. And the best part about it is, because I've done this now, I thought I had to go to a smaller board because I was having all this, I was just wigging out, I just could never get settled. Now I'm actually surfing better on a longer board, which means I've got a little bit more volume, which means it's easier to start, and it's better on touchdowns, and I get more battery life out of it, which is a big deal for me because I'm out there just ripping it up the whole time. So, hey, it's a really big deal, and I want you to go and try it. So please, 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 take it off, undo those little grub screws, put it and move your foil around. You can tap it like I did. I just saw me doing it out beside the pool, and just try it. Just give it a try. What have you got to lose? Nothing. You got nothing. It'll take you 10, 15 minutes. Now, just one other thing, and this is mainly for code owners and people who own a Sonova. Okay, so you actually saw me out in the pool when I undid the T-nuts, and I slid it forward and I slid it back. And because you got the max on, and you actually can't see the foil boxes. So I've been surfing on this for, last 4 days, that's probably like 8 surfs. And what happened was when I shifted it all the way forward, because the code base plate is physically longer than other foils, it's actually longer. So what that means, this is just, it's just bad luck. But when you jam a code foil the whole way forward on this Sonova board, the back T-nuts end up in that slot. Have a look at this, I'll just show it to you. So that's how I surfed for 4 days. I'm so lucky I didn't tear it out. Just credit to Code for making an incredibly strong base plate because I only had 2 bolts in. And credit to Sonova, like how good are these boxes, only 2 are in. Hey, and the same thing happens if you move it all the way to the back, the bolts will line up with that. And because of that, I actually can't get this foil far enough forward, so I actually have to move it back well behind that. And that's another reason I can't balance this board with my max setup on it. Maybe with a slim, I could, but I think for now, I was not going to ride the 5.5 anymore after my session this morning with this in the balance point, and it was just just froth-ola. It was just sick. I was just doing cutbacks, just one after the other, just doing figure eights, going way out the back and just coming in and just cruising. There's nobody else out in the ocean. I had so much fun. And the extra length was no disadvantage at all. We all get a little bit drunk on super short and small foils. Oh, foil-wise, by the way, too, I'm down to the 850 medium fuse and the 158 tail with a little negative shim. I just got a little tiny wash on that. That is now my 1 foot to like 6, 8 foot setup. It's fantastic. That's all right, 85 mast. I'm on a 200. I have ordered a 150. I want to drop it down. But you know, after today, I don't know, but the 200 really does cover everything. But anyway, I'm not going to keep rattling on. I know if you look around me, there's a big storm brewing. But anyway, thanks for listening. Now please go out and try that. You always have to try new things. Just don't get it out of the box, bolt it on, and just go. Anyway, folks, thanks for listening. I'm frothing. Get into your Foiul Drive, move those boxes, get out there and shred X. Yoo!